Good morning, Dublin. Good morning, UCD. Good morning, colleagues. Professor O'Riordan and colleagues, it's a great pleasure to be with you this morning with University College Dublin, the Institute of Food and Health Annual Research Day, and the launch of your new research strategy for the period 2020 to 2024. The strategy and its ambition to harness the collective expertise of the brightest and the best in research to future-proof the global food system is incredibly timely. We're just after the award of the Nobel Peace Prize to the World Food Programme, and we see the food system moving front and centre in the great transitions that are ahead. For me, I'm John Bell. I'm the Director of Research and Innovation for what's called the Healthy Planet Directorate, which is no pressure, which is a directorate that is dedicated to working together with researchers and innovators to drive and direct these new challenges towards sustainable, climate neutral food systems and biological systems working within planetary boundaries. For the European Union, the mission of the European Union is now to set out a climate neutral union that is working within planetary boundaries by 2050, and along the way by 2030. We need to see a number of these big changes taking place before they become irreversible. And our food system at the centre of that. As you'd have seen in recent months, there's been a review of policy at the centre of the European Union. The European Green Deal has 8 major policy areas, and for the first time since David Byrne, another alumnus of University College Dublin, was a commissioner, there's now a major new food policy called the Farm to Fork Strategy, and linked policies on biodiversity, circular economy, climate mitigation, climate adaptation, and zero pollution moving ahead. And the food system is at the centre of all of this. We know that it is central to our food nutrition security. It's employing about 1 in 5 people in the economy directly or indirectly. It links us directly with our planetary systems and its sustainability. It provides us, of course, with enormous parts of our well-being in terms of not just our material well-being, but our culture, which we're feeling very much at this very difficult period that we go through, where the human common language of eating together is most difficult to maintain at a time when it's so difficult to interact in these difficult times. So food and the centrality of food to our culture, our economy, our planet is really moving to the centre of policy and asking more research and innovation to respond in setting new directions. It's a strategically important area in moving research innovation from the point of view of being simply an observer to being an area of policy that is setting direction, identifying solutions, mobilizing and aligning different parts of science, society, technology, and behavior to make these kind of new futures and new systems possible. And it will be central to the response of the European Union and member states in building a greener and more diverse economy and sustainable society when we move out of this dreadful period of COVID and into a period where we can build back better, as they say, and build a recovery on green and sustainable policies. So in the European Green Deal, we have the Farm to Fork strategy, we have the Next Generation EU Recovery Package, which are central, and of course we have the deployment of the European Union's Bioeconomy Strategy and Action Plan, where the focus is on demonstration, deployment, and adding new value chains from the waste streams, for example, in the food system. In line with UCD's strategy, we strongly emphasise the need to invest, to mobilise and to improve the necessary scientific evidence to future-proof our food systems. We cannot navigate without the knowledge that is required. And European investments are already in the pipeline. For example, we've just launched a €1 billion Green Deal call, for which I'm responsible, which includes a €74 million investment in support to the Farm to Fork strategy. It's a call as well worth looking at. It's looking at the different breakthrough areas that are needed to move the transitions of Green Deal policy forward using research and innovation, knowledge, investment and application. We have the preparations for the first biannual work programme of Horizon Europe, which includes an ambitious calls related to food systems. It will include investment in 5 new Horizon Europe Green Deal missions, including one on soil health and food, another on oceans and the water systems, and another indeed on climate adaptation, where the role of the food systems are central. And on the missions, I would encourage you to go and read the documents which have been published about 2 weeks ago, as I think you'll find them setting in a very interesting direction for what will be moonshot initiatives driven by research and innovation, but to bring change to happen on the ground through the mobilisation of resources, ideas, knowledge, behaviour and places. We also have a €750 billion COVID-19 recovery package called Next Generation EU, where about 37% will be spent directly on European Green Deal objectives. Alongside investment, we have the mobilisation of people like yourselves, the people who make this happen, the researchers, the innovators, the entrepreneurs and citizens. We're updating our Food 2030 initiative, which will be built around 10 key pathways for action, providing capacity for change. We've learned the lessons from the Fit for Food 2030 project in mobilising multi-actor policy labs across Europe and in engaging citizens. There's a new European research area policy to foster the spirit of cooperation, alignment and collaboration, and excellence-based EU research and innovation working alongside member states and regions. And we have important deliverables from Horizon projects such as the Food and Nutrition Security Cloud to advance open science and data. In partnerships like the European Institute of Technology's Knowledge and Innovation Community, or KIC for Food, or in the interregional collaborations under the Agri-Food Smart Specialisation platforms, there are enormous opportunities to build on the partnerships that have been put in place and to launch new ideas. We have the launch of a new €600,000 study to advise us on how to strengthen education and training in food systems and in the wider bioeconomy. And thirdly, we have the expansion of the evidence base to build forward this new food systems approach of the future. There's a use of the extensive European knowledge base to devise better governance to accelerate food systems transformations. We will be soon setting up a high-level expert group to provide advice on better food systems governance. We'll be harnessing the full potential of research and innovation to future-proof our food systems, which includes tackling the social science deficit. And I can tell you, in the middle of a lot of the work that we've been doing in this crisis, the need for better understanding of behaviour, not just attitudes, is a major ask in the transition learning that we're getting from the shock of COVID. So the social sciences will be asked to step up in contributing actionable intelligence on how we work with behaviour and big patterns of social involvement and change. We will also be contributing to the debate in the 2021 UN Food Systems Summit, which seeks a new global ambition for a deep food system transformation. And you'll be hearing more from us about how we intend to work with the food science community on that in the months ahead. So to conclude, I feel that there's a lot of developments that are taking place in close harmony with the kind of objectives that you set out in your new UCD strategy, based around your 4 core objectives and the strategic themes. I think it's imperative that your strategy takes full advantage of the possibilities and openings that will become available on the European stage in the coming weeks, months and years, as you have done in the past. Such synergies can only strengthen and deepen the effort to transform our systems. And as we say at UCD, you only start getting to Ad Astra like our moonshots if we start with our feet on the ground in the food systems on the earth. So, an ócáid hailtocht seo, bhfuilm gachrá a chuí ar choláis an hoscoil a blá clia in youth. Thank you very much and the very best of luck. Bye-bye.